everyone, and welcome back to Feroze Studio. So today's class is a really nourishing class. It's all about breathing, stretching, and just mobilizing those joints, getting rid of any aches or pains. And this is a really nice one to do perhaps on a Sunday when you're just taking it slow at home, or after a long day when you just want to take a moment to come back to yourself. So let's get started. We're going to begin in a 4-point kneeling position. And you're going to bring your shoulders right over your wrists and your hips over your knees. And just make sure that the weight is nice and even through your wrists and your knees. And you're going to start by letting your tummy drop towards the floor. Almost just let gravity take you down. Breathe in. And as you exhale, start to actively draw your belly button up towards your back, finding a neutral position where you could balance a cup of tea on the back of your pelvis. Take another breath in. And as you breathe out, you're going to start to hinge your body backwards, taking your hips past your knees. And we want to stop before we start to tuck our bottom. And then you're going to go forwards, bringing those shoulders slightly over the wrists this time. And again, breathe in, hinge back, find that deep fold at the hip, and then hinging forwards, opening the front of the hips there. And we're just going to take a few more. And I tend to think of almost sticking my bottom slightly out as I hinge backwards so that I can still balance that cup of tea. And let's go for one more. Just a really nice way to start to open up those hips at the start of the class. And then bring yourself back into neutral. You're then going to start to round your back into that beautiful C curve, drawing your belly button to spine, tuck that pelvis and take a small nod of your chin. And then we're going to hinge backwards from there and come all the way down towards your heels if you can. And then keep that round spine as you come forwards, shoulders past the wrists. And again, breathe in, hinge backwards. And then breathe out, hinge forwards. And you should start to feel a really lovely opening of your lower back here. That's usually one of the areas we get the tightest throughout our days. So really focus on drawing that tailbone down towards the floor. And we'll take our final one here. And then come back to neutral, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Start to slide your left leg all the way out, back towards the end of your mat, and you're going to tuck your toes under. Then start to take your right arm forwards in front of you, and then you're going to open your chest as you circle that arm all the way up and around. Sweep it back down past your mat and come straight into the next one. Really beautiful way to open up that upper back now. And get this feeling of pressing away from your mat. So you reach up towards the ceiling as you circle. Let's go for one more. And then bring your hand all the way back down onto the mat. And we're going to rock forwards, bringing our heel with us, and then backwards, take your heel away. Forwards and backwards. So we're really lengthening out our calves here and just finding a nice little bit of mobility through the ankle. And then come back to the middle, slide that leg all the way in, and we're going to take the opposite leg out. Your right leg goes back, really elongate that leg, press your knee up towards the ceiling, and then we're going to take our opposite arm, our left one up, take a big circle all the way around, and again, breathe in, reach up and away, and then breathe out, circle it around. And we're going to try and keep our weight forwards. It's quite easy here to start to slide backwards. So keep that right shoulder over your wrist. And we're going to do one more. And then lower that hand all the way back down onto the mat and start to rock forwards and backwards. We've still got that cup of tea on the back of our pelvis. And just find as much range of movement as you can through that ankle joint. For 3, 2, 1. And then draw that knee all the way back under. We're going to take our left leg back, slide it back, and this time you're going to turn towards me and start to lift your left arm all the way up to the ceiling and slide your toes back. So we're now on our right knee and our left foot. You're going to really press into the outside edge of that foot to find length through your top waistline. And then begin to circle your top arm all the way down to the floor, turning your head and chest as you go. Hold there, lift your leg away from the mat up towards your hip, lower it back down, find the outside edge of the foot, and then return your arm all the way back. We go again, we circle that arm around. You may touch your mat, you may not, doesn't matter which one, and then lift that foot away from the floor, lower, and circle the arm all the way back up. Take it forwards and around, look down at your hands as you lift that foot away, reach for the other end of your room, and then lower it back down, finding the outer edge of the foot. And you're going to carry on here, starting to really feel that top side of your body opening up, finding space through the body. We'll take our last one now. Circle that arm around, take a little lift of the foot, and then return. And you're going to come and sit all the way down from there, bringing your legs in your mermaid position now. So I've got my right heel in towards my pubic bone, and then my left shin is lining up with the edge of the mat there. Arms are long out to the side. Try and find a nice bit of lift up through your spine. And we're going to really sit back into those sit bones. So you may find that both of your sit bones are down. You may be a little bit lifted. That's absolutely fine. We'll work on getting them both down. And then start to lift your left arm up. Take your right elbow all the way down to the floor and take a big stretch up and over. Breathe into the side body. And then breathe out, push away from the floor and take your hands over to the other side. Elbow probably won't reach, but if it can, go for it. And then breathe in. We'll come over to the other side. Big stretch. And then breathe out over to the other side. Lovely. One last one here. And then we're going to bring both arms down to the floor and turn to our side. You're going to sit down now on your sit bones, and we're going to lengthen our legs out in front of us, about hip distance and parallel through the feet. And then I quite like to take a small bend of the knees just to help get that little bit of lift out of the lower back. So taking out that slump that we tend to sit in day to day. And then relax your arms out in front of you, and we'll just roll those shoulders down into the back a couple of times, finding that nice posture. And then with the shoulders settled, you're going to start to reach towards your toes, folding your body in half, sending the belly button backwards, so you get this lovely opening through your spine, and then drop the chest, open up your back, and reach all the way back up, lifting for the ceiling, and take a big circle all the way back down. We slide our hands forward, fold the body in half, find that deep scoop through your center, and then reach forward, flatten out that back, open up, and circle all the way around. Lovely. Breathe in, reach forward and away. Breathe out, find the peak of those sit bones and take a beautiful big circle. Carrying on there. Really connecting our breath to the movement now. It's such a lovely way to settle down the nervous system, if you've had a lot going on lately, and just find that little moment of calm on your mat. And then this time, settle the arms all the way down, and we're going to place them behind our hips. Lean back into your arms and take a moment to really lift up and open the chest so we're slightly extending through our spine. Draw your legs together so that your feet are touching, and we're going to open up our hips, look up towards the ceiling and really press away from the floor. And then breathe in, gently release your glutes and tap your mats. We breathe out, lift, push your big toes away from your chest. And then breathe in, melting back down without letting those shoulders creep up towards the ears, which is very tempting in this one. We're going to go for 3 more. You might be feeling it a little bit in the wrists, that's fine. Very important to strengthen them as we go. And we'll take that last one, lifting up and away. And then settle your pelvis all the way back down. And we're going to come to the other side. So bring your legs all the way around. Come up into your high kneeling, and then we're going to place our left hand down and straighten that right leg all the way out. If you can, get the outside edge of your foot down onto the mat, and then take that arm all the way up. As we breathe in, we're going to circle our arm to the mat. Turn your head to look down at your hands. Hold them there as you take a small lift away from the mat. Lower the foot, and then return the arm all the way back up. Twist, lift, lower, and return. And the whole time that we're doing this, we're going to focus on trying to keep our hip bones facing towards your screen. So that movement is going to be coming from the upper body as we twist. Good. Let's go for 1 more. And this time, as the arm comes back up, you're going to lower the hips and find that mermaid position. Taking a moment to just feel your body in space. See if you can get those hip bones grounded once again, and lift out of your lower back. Arms are going to go long out to the side, and then we'll lower that left elbow onto the mat. Take a big reach up and over, and then push away from the mats and come all the way over to the other side. And you might find now that we're coming to the other side that one side of the body feels quite a bit tighter than the other. I can definitely feel that this feels a little more challenging on my hips, which is very normal. We all have imbalances through our body, and Pilates is a really nice way to try and rebalance the body and find alignment again. Good, let's go for 1 more now, everyone. And then bring both arms all the way down. Turn around onto your bottom, knees are bent, hip distance and parallel through the feet. And then with your arms long out in front of you, shoulders down and connected, we're going to roll our pelvis under and begin to slowly, slowly roll down onto the mat. 1 vertebrae at a time, until your head, your shoulders, and your hips are all grounded into the mat underneath you. And just take a moment to settle the body down here. Let those shoulders draw down into the mat, open the chest, and really sink the hips down, allowing the weight of the thighs to feel heavy into the hip sockets. From here, take your arms out wide into almost like a big V shape, and you're going to flip your palms up towards the ceiling. Really connect your arms down into the floor to encourage those shoulders to stay open, and then draw your legs together so that your knees and your big toes are touching. Breathe in there, and as you exhale, you're going to take both knees towards me and lift the opposite hip up, and keep going as far as you can without lifting your shoulders up. And then breathe in, squeeze those legs together, return them back to center, and then we'll exhale and tip over to the other side. And you almost want to think of working against gravity here. So try not to let those legs just drop to the floor. Really use those core muscles to control the movement. And as you return back to center, we want to draw our belly button in towards our spine and use those tummy muscles to come all the way back. So what may look like a very simple move, there's actually a lot going on here. Really nice if you've got a tight lower back as well. Good. Now, bring the kneecaps back towards the ceiling, and this time we're going to cross our right foot in front of our left knee. Bring the left foot away from the floor so you're in a single knee fold position, and then lower it all the way back down. And we go again. You gently lift your foot away from the floor and then lower it back down. So we're getting a really nice stretch into our glutes here. And we're starting to challenge our core a little bit more, moving really slowly. So as we lower that leg, make sure that we're not popping up through our tummy or our ribs. Keep really nice and flat, like someone's stepping on your tummy. And then rest the foot all the way back down, keeping this figure of four position through the legs. You're going to draw your arms all the way back into the body. Turn the palms to the mat. Inhale to prepare. And as you exhale, start to tuck your pelvis, imprint your lower back, and you're going to roll up through the spine onto the back of the shoulders. Really try to drop that right knee, open up your hip, and then breathe in nice and slowly, tuck that bottom under, and roll all the way back down onto your tailbone. And we go straight into the next one. On our exhale, rolling up, open the hips, open the shoulders, and then really melt that spine down, feeling one bone release at a time, and sending those hips forward and away into neutral. Carrying on here, really pushing weight down through the foot and enjoying that lovely release through the back with just a little bit of challenge. Last one on this side. And then relax your body all the way down. Bring your right foot onto the mat and we're going to switch sides. Left foot's going to cross over our right knee. Our arms are going to go wide again, palms are up. And then we're going to lift that knee in towards the chest and keep your rib cage down as you return the foot all the way back. And again, pull that knee forwards and then release. We want to try and keep neutral pelvis as that leg comes in. So just watch that you're not collapsing into your lower back as you bring the knee in. Otherwise, that's going to make it a little too easy. We want some challenge here. Last one. And then bring your arms into the body. Flip the palms to the floor. Feel your triceps connect into the mat and then roll up through that spine. Feeling width through the back of the shoulders. And then inhale, melting all the way back down. Really tuck that pelvis under to open up your lower back. And we're going to carry on here. So for me on this side, again, I can feel that it's a lot harder work on my hips, which is always good to just note in the body where our imbalances are so we can work to try and correct them. And let's take one last one. Rolling up, open the hips, and then melt all the way back down. Release your foot. Let your legs slide down to the end of your mat. a little bit wider than hip width. Take those arms just outside your mat, and you're going to close down your eyes, and we'll finish with 3 deep breaths. So all together, breathe in through the nose, and then open your mouth and sigh out. Again, breathe in, let the tummy rise, the ribs open. And then exhale, let it all go. One more, breathing in. Exhale, release. And just let any tension in the body melt away into your mat. Take a moment to feel and notice how the body's doing at the other end of the session. Hopefully feeling a little bit lighter, a little bit calmer and more connected. And you are all done for today. Thanks so much, everyone. See you soon.